Usually when people are talking about dick size, I'm exhausted from your dumbass. How to become the Dark Lord, blah, blah, bullshit. For someone who doesn't know who she is or what her past was, you seem to know quite a bit about who you are and what your past was. You're so quirky and silly. Okay, so here we go with a completely random, impromptu little, probably quick vlog. And I might, maybe, I don't know. I'm debating turning this into like kind of a little series I do. I am not a hate reader. I DNF all the motherfucking time. And like if there are books that excerpts I've seen or just the premise like doesn't sound intriguing, or it's an author that I've tried several times and just doesn't work for me, or close friends who know my taste tell me like you'll fucking hate it, I avoid, right? Like I don't pick up books that I anticipate hating. Do I pick up books sometimes that I'm like, I don't know how much I'm gonna love this, we'll see, or like I don't know, like the premise sounds really cool but I don't know how much faith I have. Yeah, for sure. But again, I will DNF so quick. I usually do not push through just for the like content of it all. If I do that, it's typically just because I'm getting through it so quickly. I tend to be a slower reader as far as like when I'm sitting down to read, I read pretty probably average speed, but I can't sit and read for hours at a time. I can sit and read for like 15 minutes here and there, 20 minutes here and there, occasionally maybe like 40 minutes. And then I get distracted. I got to do something else, or I do have other things to do. So it's like on a given day, I am able to read like a few chapters usually of whatever book I'm reading, like maximum. And usually I'm reading more than one book at a time too. So all that to say, there have been some times where a book is a quick read or it's shorter and I'm not having a good time, but I just push through because like, fuck it. It's not going to take me very long to finish. And there you go. Or like an audiobook where I'm like, I just need something to listen to and this kind of sucks, but like whatever, I'll keep listening. But Elle, this is a book that I had no interest in, and I'm sure it's in the title, so you already know, but How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying by Django Wexler. I've seen this all around. I've seen many, many people talking about it. It was on anticipated releases things, and I think there's like book boxes that are coming out with it. So I've seen it around in the, booktube sphere. Didn't really have interest in it. I hadn't really heard that much about like the actual book anyway. I've never read Django Wexler, and just the cover and everything, I just was kind of like, I don't know. Sounds like one of those like quirky, fun fantasy things that not that I think it would be terrible based on that, but just I don't have that much like natural interest in. So I was just kind of like, whatever. Elle picked it up today, and I won't like go too much into her thoughts and opinions. I'll let her discuss that on her own channel. But she messaged Roger and I, because I guess Roger was interested in it, and she was like, I don't know if you're interested in it, Jashana, but she just was like, I have to share some excerpts. She was in the first chapter, and I was just like, what even is this? And just every excerpt she shared, I just was like, this seems terrible. Like, this seems truly, truly really bad and so annoying. The authorial voice, the character voice, the tone of it all, just so like cringy, try hard, like so irreverent, and like trying to be Deadpool but not doing it well or at all. So yeah, I was just like, oh my god, yeah, no, definitely. Like, but then I was like, man, I kind of wish I was like a hate reader, because I just want to talk. It's like so bad that I kind of want to talk about it on my channel, which is mean. But like, it's Django Wexler is a pretty damn established author. And I've seen a lot of people talking positively about this book, so I don't think my silly little opinion is going to have too much of a detrimental impact anyway. And I'm not like, I do not believe that I will be able to push through in this. So I was telling Elle and Roger, I was like, maybe I could do like see how long I can go before I must DNF. Like, see how long I can last with a book that I'm pretty sure I'm going to really, really not like, and that I know I'm going to DNF. Like, ain't no way I will be able to push through, right? Based on like what I've seen and heard. And I was like, maybe I could do that with some other stuff too. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to do it, at least with this. Like I said, this might be very quick because I might truly not be able to last more than like a chapter. I don't know. We shall see. And how am I going to like determine just my DNF meter, you know, like when is like, I know, when is it ever? It's just, you feel it in your heart, you know? I feel it in my soul sometimes. The moment of, nope, fuck it, I'm out. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have like a definitive thing I'm looking for, or like number of strikes, how many strikes before you're out. Maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I'll do, oh God, I don't know. Cause what she was showing me, I'm like, it might be a few pages. I was going to say, maybe I'll do like 10 strikes, like 10 things that I want to tab of like, what in the ever-loving fuck are we talking about? Or like, this is so mind-numbingly stupid, I hate it so much. Like maybe 10 strikes. But I'm like, God, could be very, very fast. So I'll start with 10, but if I don't even get out of the first chapter with 10, maybe I'll bump it up to like 20 strikes or something. And I'll inform you guys when I come across each new strike. God, this might be over very, very quickly. But yeah, I don't know if this ends up being at all entertaining to you. Let me know if you would like to see me do this with other books. Anyway, I'm going to start it in a little bit, and I'll report back. Okay, strike one. The very first footnote. And I think this is one that Elle had shared, actually. So, talking about something that, like armor or something that someone is wearing. Yeah, iron armor. And the footnote says, he seriously never takes it off. How does he poop? I have to know how he poops. He probably fucking takes it off when he's shitting. Like, she's in a dungeon, and it's like, he never takes it off. You're clearly not around him all the time, and also, are you 12? Are you 12 years old? You have to know how he poops. He takes his shit off like anybody. Like, what? What are we talking about? Actually, I'll continue. This is literally like 2 pages in, 4%. All right, strike 2 is another thing that Elle sent. Maybe I should not include I won't count it as a strike, the things that Elle sent me. But, like, they would be strikes. If she had not sent me those and I had no idea of this book, this would be a strike. We have a snake woman creature character. And literally, our main character, she says about this snake lady, she's practically drooling at the sight of my gory tits. Her tongue comes out long and forked to taste the air. I briefly contemplate what it would be like to get head from a snake wilder. And then the footnote, the tongue would be fucking weird, right? Dunno. Maybe I'm into it. Shut up. You're insufferable as fuck. And then this is incorrect punctuation. I'm fairly certain. It says, briefly contemplate, blah, 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 comma, but I have, let's say, a premonition that this is not on the agenda. Shouldn't there be commas there? I have, let's say, a premonition, right? Am I fucking insane? I have a whole writing degree, but it's like, it's in the book. So I'm like, is this just editing not done well? Or am I horribly wrong and that's acceptable? It reads like a run-on sentence to me. But I have, let's say, a premonition. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like there should be fucking commas there. All right. Oh my God. Strike 3. The last one technically could be. Again, maybe I'll do the math on like how many were things that Elle like alerted me to. This one I don't think she sent a screenshot, but I remember she mentioned this where the snake lady is like, ooh, I want to have a go at torturing you. But she's like doing this Deadpool-esque thing of talking to her jailer, talking to the guard. And she's like, I realized you're worried about not, getting the job done anymore, but you can't just introduce a third wheel into our relationship without talking to me about it. Like acting like they're in a relationship, whatever. And then the snake lady's like, ooh, I want to fucking torture you. And then she goes, sorry, Scaly, I only date girls with tits. That in and of itself is like, okay, you're so cool. And then the footnote right there says, this isn't really true. I'm just trying to piss her off. No offense to my flat-chested sisters. Flat-chested, like smaller-chested women still do have tits. What? And also, what if a woman doesn't? You know? That's also possible. What if they've had them removed for various reasons? Or are trans and have not had top surgery or don't want to, or what, any number of things. Like, shut up. And it's just without the fucking footnote, it's just annoying. I only date girls with tits. Like, she's talking about torturing you. Shut the fuck up. You're so stupid. Oh my God. Elle did not mention this one. I'm sure she could have and probably wanted to, but you know, she wasn't sending us every single excerpt from the book. But she's talking about getting tortured. You think you'd get used to this shit after a while, but no. When someone bites your finger off, your body's got to be all like, oh no, someone bit my finger off. Pain, pain, pain. I know, okay? I was fucking there. You don't have to remind me. Like, you're trying so hard to be Deadpool, and it's so obvious, and it's not working, in my opinion. I don't know. Yeah, this whole thing, the whole tone is quite insufferable. But, I don't know, what is this, strike 4? Strike 5? She's talking about her story. It's a long story. And like, here's the airline safety video version. Hi, I'm Davi. Just Deadpooling it up. For the last 1,000 years, and then a footnote, give or take a few hundred. I try to count, but it's not like I can keep a fucking diary. Like, okay. I've been trapped in a time loop, like in that movie or that other movie. Like, okay, shut up. It's just like tiresome. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted from your dumbass. Oh my God. I'm exhausted. I'm just counting this general last little bit as strike 5 or 6. Jesus Christ. She wakes up after dying, and there's a wizard guy, and his name's Siragurn, but she killed him this time because she's like, I'm fucking sick of this shit. She goes, when I go with Siragurn, as I usually do, he helps me manage this transition. He's not the most popular guy in the kingdom, but he can provide me with an entree. Oh yeah, she said, I don't even have pants. He can provide me with an entree to high society and also pants. Probably not in that order. Having tenderized his face region, I'm more or less on my own in the pants department and also in other departments. I will have to be extremely lucky to get this enterprise off the ground. You are so exhausting. Oh my God. Shut up. I'm 6% in currently. I'm still in the first chapter. The first thing was a prologue, and then now I'm in the first chapter. Okay, I have a qualm also with this setup where she has no idea where she was before, except she knows Earth is a thing, and she knows she knows that the language she speaks is called English, and she knows what the United States of America is because she assumes she's American because she's an asshole. Okay. Whatever. And then she also assumes she was a nerd because she knows all the stuff about video games, but yet has no idea who she was. And I'm like, for someone who doesn't know who she is or what her past was, you seem to know quite a bit about who you are and what your past was. I'm confused. Like, this doesn't make sense. But anyway, here's a footnote asking, like, talking about, like, am I just in a video game world? I don't know. She goes, and if it is a game so perfect that I can't tell the difference, then isn't that just reality? What if, like, I'm real and you're in the game, man? Pass me a bong and let's talk about the simulation hypothesis.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I'm gonna need a nap. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. There's 20 minutes left in this. I cannot continue. Okay, where's the first one? This has happened several times recently. Yeah, okay. Trying to talk to these orcs and they keep killing her. And she's like, please listen for a minute before you stab. And then like a dash and whatever noise being stabbed in the eye makes. And the footnote says pop, squish, pa-squish. Like, I don't know. Okay, anyway. And then like a page and a half later, the actual process, but the Dark Lord gets crowned at Big Wilder. And the footnote says, they don't wear a crown, usually just a helmet with spikes on. Helmeted? Behelmed? With question marks. And then, same page, pretty much. Ideally, I'd be at the head of a vast horde, but even a little horde is better than none. And the footnote says, Hordette? Hordella? Stop. Oh my God. This is fucking exhausting. 21 minutes left in this first chapter. That's just annoying too. I hate long as all fuck chapters. So I'm gonna pause because I cannot continue right now. But am I at 10? I'll have to go back and look at the footage. I don't even know. I need to get a post-it note and like tally. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make it out of the first chapter if we're just doing 10. Honestly, if we're doing 20, I also might not make it out of the first chapter. Oh, it's exhausting. I can tell, like, the comp is Groundhog Day meets Deadpool. I've never seen Groundhog Day. I know, shocking. I know the premise, though. It's, like, the same day over and over again. I've seen all the Deadpool movies, and so I get the comps, for sure. Like, I get what as far as the elements that are the same. Groundhog Day, like, she's living the same thing over and over and over again. You know, it's not the same day, though, to be fair, so it's not exactly. But every time she wakes up after dying, it's the same thing. But it's not like one day, you know what I mean? It's however long before she dies again. And then the Deadpool comp I get with this tone we're going for. And I don't know what it is, because I was telling Al and Roger this, like, Deadpool, the movies, like, I like them and I think they're funny. There are definitely times where it's like, okay, guy, we get it with the fourth wall, breaking the fourth wall, irreverent, snarky, so raunchy, and like sarcastic, and like, I'm just so crazy, aren't I? Sometimes it's like a little bit like, all right, whatever. But I don't know, it just doesn't come off the same way as it does when I come across it in most books. Most of the time when I come across this tone from a character or from the author, like this authorial voice or character voice, I hate it. It reads so, and so I don't know if they're just like not good at it, or if I also wouldn't like Deadpool if it was in book form. I don't know if it's just reading it that doesn't do it for me, because oh my God, I hate it so much. Oh, I was saying, like, I get the comp, but I also it's fucking annoying. Whereas Deadpool to me isn't just inherently annoying and exhausting. But Jesus Christ, this bitch is. I'll report back later once I decide. I might not today. I might just wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday, though. Do I want to torture myself on my birthday? I'm kidding. It's not actually torture, because I ain't gonna finish this book. Ain't no fucking way that I could read through this entire book. It's so annoying, too, because, like, I get what we're going for. And it's probably just such a personal taste thing, too. I'm sure there's plenty of people. Like I said, I've seen a lot of people talking positively about it. I bet a lot of people think it's so funny, or, like, people who like Deadpool like this book, too. And, like, I'm just someone who likes Deadpool but is not fucking liking. And I don't tend to like when authors go for this in books. I like clever, funny, humorous, you know, and a little snarkiness I can handle for sure. But this, like, intensely so irreverent and quirky and sarcastic and snarky and just like, I'm just crazy. And it just reads so try hard and so cringy. And in this case, it's exhausting. It is exhausting. Well, hello. It is 2 days later, the day after my birthday. I definitely did not read. I barely read at all most of yesterday. And then last night, I picked up How to Fucking Become the Dark Lord, blah, blah, bullshit. And I didn't vlog because it was later at night, and I was honestly kind of tired. But I highlighted the things, and I only got up to chapter 2, but I'm pretty sure I'm all ready. So from the initial kind of reading that I did, the first day, there were 3 strikes that were things Elle had, like, you know, made me aware of prior to me starting. And then there were 6 things total that she had not, like, that I was not aware of. So 9 total in the first 6% of the book. And I only got up to 10%. And I don't know how many I have, but let's fucking find out. These chapters are so fucking long, too, which is ridiculous. Oh, yeah, okay. This annoys me. This just screams to me the author being like, let me explain away something conveniently, where she's trying to fucking talk to the orcs again. still whatever. And someone replies and she goes, actual conversation. And then there's a footnote. Let's get this out of the way. Language here doesn't make any fucking sense. The humans have one language, which I of course think of as common, though like the kingdom, it doesn't really have a name. The wilders all speak a single language too, even though there are like zillions of them spread out across probably a whole planet. While the structural linguists are trying to get a handle on that, you can add the fact that as far back as I can remember, I've been able to speak common. It sounds like English to me, unless I really concentrate on the sounds. Wilder I learned the hard way, but I've had 1,000 years to practice. Makes no sense. It has to be magic. I gave up trying to figure out how it works 100 lifetimes ago. The thing about a fantasy world is that a wizard did it is a perfectly valid explanation. I mean, I guess. And I'm sure there are people who find this funny and refreshing and like an irreverent take on fantasy. I'm just not one of those people. I find it annoying. So there's that. That was one. Let me mark that. Okay, this one. She's talking about being like tortured and stuff. And then she says, because I am, as best I've been able to determine, human. And the footnote there says, and bearing in mind that I have literally been dissected. You're so fucking quirky and silly. That makes 8 if we're not counting the 3. Cool. My little light just went off. Whatever. I don't care. We're going to go with shitty lighting. I'm so sorry. She's talking about a fight about to happen. I've stared down worse odds. And then a footnote. And then, admittedly, I've mostly died horribly. Like this, just the Groundhog Day. This is me trying to do quotes with my index finger being used. The Groundhog Day comp aspect of this, at least this first 10%, is so like just tiresome to me. I don't like it. I've never seen the movie Groundhog Day, like I said. Maybe I would hate the movie Groundhog Day too, because this just like doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and I died again, I died again, I died again, I died again, I died again. Look at me, I died again. Just, oh my God, shut up. The next thing I highlighted is just that. It's not long before I'm back in the pool waiting for Sirigurn. And yeah, I just was like, I'm over this. I am so over it. And then she's doing this repetitive fight with this guy. And she's like, ooh, I'm learning his fighting by going and trying to fight him and dying and coming back again and trying to fight him and dying and coming back again. I'm learning his moves. So she says, like, how he fights, what specifically he's likely to do when I do this. And then if I respond with this, then will he, ow, fuck, no, that didn't work. I just don't feel like this, like I said, Deadpool, the movies, there are moments of like, okay, all right, I get it, dude. You're so irreverent and vulgar and stuff. But I mostly think that it works way better. For me personally, I think this type of character in general is always going to work better in visual form, in a movie, in a TV show or something, because in book form, like that just does, I need the visuals to go along with it. When I do this, if I respond with this, it's not like fun and entertaining to me to doing what? I don't see what you're doing. You're just saying this and this and this. What is this? Like, I can't see what little move you're doing and shit. And like there's not really a way to do it well in written form, in my opinion. I don't know. So that's 10 already. 13 if we're counting the other ones. This was one that Elle had shared where someone's getting rapey, she says. And it's the guy that like she keeps trying to kill and over again and whatever. And she's like, of course it's Strack that has to get rapey. Fucking Strack. We're just so like, oh God, he's about to try to R-word me. Crazy. And she like kills herself before, but because she's just going to regenerate and come back. I don't know. I just feel like maybe that's not the place to be all like irreverent and quirky. I don't know, whatever. Just my 2 cents. It just, I think at this point I'm just so exhausted from it that I'm like, ooh, yeah, so fucking crazy and quirky that you're being like this about rape. Oh, yeah, and then this was another one that Elle had shown before where it's talking about some play and says, it's like Romeo and Juliet, like they're this kingdom's version of Romeo and Juliet. two teenage girls fall in love. And then the footnote, in spite of being literally medieval in many respects, the kingdom is refreshingly free of our nasty earth package of patriarchy, misogyny, homophobia, toxic awfulness. Instead, they have their own unique brands of toxic awfulness! Exclamation point. Just, oh my God, shut up! And then, oh, this one I just thought was stupid as fuck. She's talking about a guy who's well endowed. And I get what we're going for because of the word endowed or like well endowed meaning, having different meanings. But she says halfway handsome if you gave him a wash and a shave, and endowed like an Ivy League university. Usually when people are talking about dick size, they're using well endowed to reference dick size. The comparison you're going to make is going to be to something else of size, like physical size. You're not going to then like turn it on its head to use endowed in that way, talking about a university being well endowed, like financially well endowed. Because when I first read that, I'm like, endowed like and then I was like, oh, we're talking about like money now, like financial endowments. But like that's just to me, writing wise, I'm like, that's kind of a stupid. I don't think it's clever, I guess. And maybe I'm just being bitchy at this point, but I don't think that's clever. That's like not a clever metaphor to me. That's just like a dumb metaphor and like a wrong metaphor. We're at 11 or 16. And I think there's only a couple more. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Talking about this guy again and how she bangs him sometimes. The fact that he's dumb as a box of rocks isn't a drawback. Every time he starts to talk, I just shove something in his face to suck on. I saw a review after I finished this. I looked at reviews, and I saw one that was a positive review, and they were like, if people don't like this, it's just because they can't appreciate a woman enjoying sex, or they don't like to see women enjoying sex. That's why you wouldn't like this. First of all, what a wild assumption to make. I love seeing female characters who are, you know, slutty and unashamed of their sluttiness. And just like, if I feel like having consensual sex with someone, I'm gonna fucking do it. If we're both down and I'm feeling in the mood and I'm feeling frisky, let's fuck. I love that, okay? That is not my problem here. My problem is just this is a woman being sexual clearly from a man's perspective. It reads very immature, just horny, perverted, vulgar, like vulgar, perverse horniness. And like immature, childish, and just stupid and gross. Like this isn't like a woman like in her like having a high sex drive and just like, yeah, you can be dirty and like vulgar, but like just she's always like, my tits, my gory tits, giving him something to suck on. Yeah, ooh, wonder what that would feel like licking between my clit. Ugh, like, calm down. Oh my God. It just, again, to me, it very much screams a man's perspective of what a horny ass bisexual woman would be. And it's just such a stereotype of bisexual people, especially women as well. Like that if you're bisexual, I'm bisexual. I consider myself bisexual. There's just like a weird stereotype that if you're bisexual, like you're going to cheat because you're horny all the time, obviously. Like, no, what the fuck? Just because you're bisexual doesn't mean like more sexual than other people necessarily. Someone can be heterosexual or homosexual and only be attracted to one gender or sexual identity and have varying levels of horniness and how often they want to have sex and how sexual they are, how high their sex drive is or how low their sex drive is. The number of people that you find attractive does not determine how fucking high your sex drive is. Like, what are we talking about? And that this character just reads like a stereotype of a bisexual woman written from a man's perspective who thinks that it's like if a girl was horny like a teenage boy, and for women too. Like, it's just, I hate it. Oh, did I already, I can't remember if I notated this one already. It doesn't matter. We're at our limit regardless, and I DNF'd regardless, so. Oh yeah, we're in the camp of the orcs, and this is like the big bad orc, and our main character finds hot and attractive and was like, ooh, she's sexy. I want to, cool, whatever. Like, you're literally dying over and over. And I get that the whole thing, I'm sure there's going to be people who like this, if they see this, that are going to be like, well, but that's the whole point, is she's just like over it at this point. She's done this so many times. Like, she's not focused on, oh, I'm being tortured or about to be tortured or I might die, because she'll just come back. Like, she's over it. I don't care. I still just think it's fucking, she's just objectifying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, anyone she sees that she's like, oh, they're attractive, her sex drive is written in such a way that that means she's automatically like, I want to fuck. You know, like, she can't just be like, oh, they're hot. She's got to be like, they're hot and I want them to fuck me this way and that way. Like, relax. Because then she goes into the tent and she goes, noting with some disappointment it's not full of handcuffs and bondage gear. She's insufferable. She is fucking insufferable. So, yeah, I'm done. I simply cannot. I made it through the first chapter and I got 12 strikes on my own without anything that Elle had, like, shown me. 17 strikes total. There were 5 things that I came across that I had already seen from what Elle sent me. No way, man. No way could I continue. And it's really annoying because this story could be enjoyable. Like, I could enjoy a bisexual female main character who does, you know, has a sex drive and is fine with consensual sex and whatever, and is in this world where she just kind of keeps dying over and over again and is just like, man, fuck this. Like, I'm so sick of this shit. Like, I'm done. The premise, the idea of that, the concept of it all sounds intriguing to me. But, and I've never read any other Django Wexler, and I'm not trying, I think this is very, very different, to my understanding, from any of his other works. So, I just think that, like I said, I think that this type of Deadpool irreverent to the nth degree character, I just personally think is difficult to do in book form no matter what. I come across characters sort of like this, I feel, a lot in, like, paranormal fantasy. Like, there was a few I came across in my, like, series TBR tri-chapter thing that were kind of, like, earlier 2000s or mid-2000s, 2010s, paranormal fantasy with, like, a wizard who runs a shop, right, in either, like, Victorian England or our modern times. Those types of stories I've come across, I think, the most, trying to do this with this character who's, like, breaking the fourth wall and, like, here we are again, me and my crazy life. And I just always am immediately like, ugh, no, stop it. So I just think it doesn't often work well in book form no matter what. But it really, I'm so sorry to anyone who loves this. Great, that's wonderful for you. It is just not, like, again, I like Deadpool. I think Deadpool's funny. I enjoy Deadpool. And I cried while watching Deadpool and Wolverine. Shut up, leave me alone. I have such a soft spot for Wolverine for some reason. But anyway, so it's not like, oh, you're just sense of humor. Ugh. It can be funny, and I don't mind vulgar shit. I mean, look at how I talk myself. And the whole, like, sex thing, I don't mind sex scenes. I've read dark romance type stuff where you're like, all right, like, kinky as all fuck stuff. But it just, she's written in such a way that she's fucking insufferable to me. I would not want to fucking hang out with this bitch. I would be like, shut up. We get it. You're the quirkiest. You're the most irreverent. You're the most vulgar. You're the most sex crazed. Shut the fuck up. It reads so try hard. That's what it doesn't read as genuine. This is a type of person in real life that I would be like, you're trying so fucking hard to be so cool and edgy. Like, it's like edgelord shit, you know? Like, you're not trying to be the Dark Lord. You're being an edgelord, and it's cringy, and I hate it. So, I am done after the first chapter, which was 10% of the book. Ain't no fucking way. I think if I wasn't doing this, like, little kind of, I don't know, trial, I don't think I would have made it past, like, 4 pages before I would have been like, okay, no. Love that for you if you enjoy this book. A lot of people are. Like, when I looked, it's like it was a mixed bag of like 1 and 2-ish star reviews and then 4 and 5 star reviews. And I just died. The one that I saw that was like, if people don't like this, it's because they don't like women having sex, or they think women who enjoy sex have no morals. Nah, has nothing to do with why I don't fucking like this. There are plenty of other reasons for me to not enjoy this. They are many and varied and have almost nothing to do with her enjoying sex. It's with how she talks about sex in just this like overly gross way. Like I said, I'm not saying you can't be vulgar. I love some good, smutty, spicy, dirty talk, kinky stuff in sex scenes or characters liking that kind of shit. Don't mind that at all. But holy shit, this bitch is so annoying. So that'll be the end of this very quick probably thing. Well, I mean, I talked a lot, so maybe it won't be so quick. But let me know if this was at all entertaining. Watching me devolve into madness. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.